Hello everyone, welcome back to Too Much Bricks. This is Kyle, and in today's video is yet again another episode of building Tython from the Mandalorian in Lego. Now this is episode 3, titled Redesign. Now I do suggest you go check out my original videos, which is episode 1 and 2 on building Tython. You can click my channel icon, go to playlist, and you can go to any set reviews you may have missed, Lego City updates, mock updates, and even some mock series that you may have missed. But this particular mock series is titled Building Tython in the Mandalorian in LEGO series, so you can check out that playlist. I believe I'll have, as I said, this is episode 3, so definitely be sure to go check out episode 1 and 2 so you can see how the mock has progressed. Now, in this episode, there has been a major redesign of the mock, and I will get into that once we actually get over to the table the mock is on. Before I do want to say subscribe, drop a like if you haven't. Huge shout out to our sponsor, Providence Brick Exchange, located in Smithfield, Rhode Island, owned by my good friend Clint. Great guy, great store, great prices, and you can click my channel icon, go to my About section for a quick bio on myself and on him if you are new. So definitely be sure to go check him out if you are local. Tell him you came from here, as well as going and subscribing to Bricks on the Dollar. Again, that's Bricks on the Dollar, and you can look him up via the YouTube search, or you can actually go to my channel icon again, go to channels, and you'll see all the channels that I am personally subscribed to, and you can subscribe to him via there. He has done a actual podcast called Building Up to It, him and good some good friends of him as well, and they actually interviewed my friend Clint, so you can go check that out. Again, that's Bricks on the Dollar. And without further ado, let's get into this episode sponsored by Providence Brick Exchange. Alright everyone, so we're over here on where Tython, or the mock that I'm working on, is. And before I actually give you, as I normally do and I have done in the other 2 episodes, an overview of the whole mock, I'm going to let you know what the new design is before I show you the major changes that we've done. As I said, I'm going to explain what this is first before I give you a whole overview on all the changes. So basically, if you remember from the episode 1 and episode 2, um, the changes are, instead of having 4 bricks and just declining it to 3 bricks with 2 plates, and then 2 bricks with 1 plate, yada yada yada. If you remember from the second episode, if you haven't seen it, I do encourage you to go back and take a look at it. That way this one will make a little bit more sense. So instead of doing that very gradual slope and decline, I decided to actually raise this up from 4 bricks as it originally was, to 8 bricks. I don't know if you can really see it there. This is a little bit outdated, and I'll show you that in a minute. I was going to have the pillars and Grogu on the seeing stone in the middle of there, and then we're going to drop from the 8 bricks down all the way to almost a base plate with just some plates on top. So as you can see, there's going to be a valley there, and then I would rise back up, so there's a a valley in between the hills or the mountains. But on this particular portion, I'm only going to go 5 bricks, I think. I'm not going to go as high as the other portion, and that's where the transport for the stormtroopers is going to be, I hope. Now, I haven't been able to pick up that transport just yet, but I'm hoping to soon, and it is a fairly large transport, so I'm planning on getting the first order transport, since they haven't really made one for the Mandalorian yet, which I'm hoping that they'll actually make a set out of. And I did see it at our sponsor Providence Brick Exchange's store, and it was a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be, so I don't know how deep I'm going to make the actual terrain on top of that particular mountain, but I'll probably have to adjust it to the actual ship itself, because I do want to have it on the top and like all the stormtroopers running down in. And without further ado, let's get into the changes of the mock, and I'm going to give you a overview of the whole revised mock. Here is the whole entire revised or redesigned mock in its entirety. So as you can see, there's the design, the second draft, or actually that's the third draft. I only showed the second draft, and then this is the third. I didn't show the first because I immediately redesigned the first as soon as I did it, because I didn't like how it was. So that's the third draft up there that we were just looking at. Got some more parts up on the table there. And so this is what I'm doing in coherence to the or correspondence, excuse me, to the draft, where you have that up 8 blocks, sloping or dropping down to the base plate with just some brown plates and other types of plates on top of it, so it would only be a plate high in that section, and back up to 5 bricks. Now I'm going to bring you in for a closer look. I've started a little detailing on the bottom there just for, like, just to get the feel for it and to see how it looks, just experimenting a little bit. And I've also done a great deal of detail and work on Grogu over there near the Seeing Stone. I've taken the pillars down from the last episode because although I don't believe it actually showed you guys yet what the pillars look like on the actual base itself. I might put those up in the video today. Not sure if I am, just to give you guys a look at it. But in the last episode, I had the pillars all made and done. They're in that cup right there, and laid out, as well as the smaller components. And I had already put them up. I just, as I said, took them down recently so I could work on that section, and they look really great. So I'm not sure, as I said, if I'm going to be able to put them up in this video or not. I'm not sure if I'm going to actually do any work in this particular video. I might, but I'm just going to give you the overall changes. And like I said, let's get into it. All right, guys, so we're over here near the smaller mountain, if you will. So this is only about 5 bricks high, as I said. Then we drop down to 4, 3, 2, 1, and then the actual plate. Now, this was the original problem. The problem that I said with the original design which is why I had to raise them up 2 plates and then drop 1 plate, is because of this gap. Well, as you'll see over in this side in a minute, I've fixed that and made a solution to that, which I think looks much better. As you can see, you can kind of see what I did down here a little bit, just experimenting with a little bit of rock work. But there's not too much to see on this side. This is all dark gray. Right now, I want it to all be light gray to match what I've done over there that I'll show you in a minute. But we'll get to that after I show you what we've done over here. Moving on to over here, as you can see, this is the solution that I've done. I'm going to be doing slopes all down it, so it'll cover up that gap. As you can see, and there's the detailing that I was doing with a little bit of plants and some slopey type of, or slopey, some slope rock work. Putting some 1x2 tan tiles there, or tan plates. Just experimenting. Not really happy with how it looks, so I might change that. But again, it was, as I said, just testing it out. Got Mando running up the slope, or the mountain, if you will. And you can see how much bigger and thick this base is than last time. So it used to look like this. It was only about this high. 1, 2, 3, 4 bricks high. That's crazy. I can't believe that it was that high, and that looked high to me. Now it's double that. It is 8 blocks or 8 bricks high. So I'll give you a whole view of that. It also continues around there. And I had shown this little bit of terrain that I had made before, but I just have it there, just to see how it fits in, just getting a feel for what, the detailing when I get to doing the terrain. And I had to raise up all the support beams because those were only 4 bricks high, because the base was only 4 bricks or blocks high. So I had to raise those up to 8 blocks high to actually support the land on top. But that's okay. I was able to do it, and it is still very firm, which we'll get to in a minute. There's a view from Minifigure Perspective, and I haven't done too much work on this area, as you can see, but you can just imagine this all along through there, and then you have a nice little valley in there. We'll get to the parts and the checklist in a minute. Now moving on to what I've done with the Seeing Stone and Grogu over here. So I have elevated him up just a little bit, and I really, that's probably my favorite part of the MOC so far. I'm just really happy with how this came out. I did some texturing on the top and some sloping all the way around. I've done some steps up to where he is. As you can see in the back there, some more slopes and some more bricks. I really like the color contrast of the dark gray and the tan. I think that looks really nice. And this is all going to be covered up, so don't pay any attention to these colors just yet. But as I said, very firm. I've made sure that I make all these extremely durable. I put a lot of support beams under here, so hopefully, again, according to my calculations, if they're correct, this shouldn't be going anywhere if I press down on it. And the reason for that is, not only did I want to put a lot under here to support the whole thing for one, but I needed a lot because I'm going to be pressing down on this. And the last thing I want, as I mentioned, I believe it was the second episode, is a cave-in as I'm building, doing some terrain on the top. So as I started started building this, this is in its permanent spot. As I said, the reason that that was outdated, as I said in the beginning of the video, is because this was supposed to be in the middle, but I decided to push it back, and I like how that looks better. I think it's a little bit more accurate because there was another drop, like, all around. It was kind of like a cone, if you will, but I can't really do that with what I've got right here. So I think pushing it to the back was a better idea. But as I said, the last thing you want is to have a cave-in when I'm doing the work on top, and nothing. Actually, I did have one cave-in when I was building this. I think it was in this section here, so I just switched some plates out and reinforced it, and now that is much more sturdier, and it just makes me feel a lot better when I'm pressing down on it. Now that little gray patch, that is its own little plate, and as you can see, that I don't know if you can really see it there, but there's a little bit of gap that forms when I press down. So, yep, see? And that just caved in right there. So I'm glad that I found that in the video. So there's proof, guys. So I'm probably going to have to reinforce that area a little bit. But it's stuff like that that bothers me. As you can see, I had a plate connecting it to the other. Better now than when I'm putting stuff on top. So that's what I was concerned about. It's cool it actually happened in the video, so you guys get a better idea. But taking a better look at this, I've done a little bit of work, just again experimenting. A lot of the stuff that I was doing today has just been experimenting with some texturing around him. I like how that looks, and I really like how I've done the sloping to make him look like he's elevated a little bit. And there's this I made a long time ago. This was one of the first things I made before I even decided to do this mock. I really like how that looks, and I think this is going to look great with the pillars on it. Again, I'm not sure if I'll put those on in this video, and I still got a little bit of my terrain from Navarro over there. Now, as far as the parts go, I still do have quite a bit of plates, but as you can see from episode 2, they've been dwindling very slowly because I have finished up on top of there, and I started using some of these brown plates, and then I started using some of these. And I still do have parts on the floor over here. Sorry if the camera got a little shaky there for you guys, but this is more of the terrain and the texturing and the last minute details of parts. Some 1x2 in sand green, some 1x2 tans, all the brown, some cheese slopes, and a lot of foliage. And I do have some destruction pieces. Again, I'm not sure if I'm going to be using these for the wreckage of the Razor Crest. That'll probably be more of like a last minute decision, once the mock is really close to being done. But yeah, so I still have some parts on the ground there, and the parts that I have on the table are more pertinent to like what I'm working on currently. And I still do have a couple boulders over there, and my cup of extra Mandalorian figures. Those are not going to be in the mock. The ones that are over to the side here, which I've shown off before. But be on the lookout because I'm going to have a revised Mandalorian custom video coming out soon, so a little sneak peek there. And I still do have a little bit of slopes there. Now, last thing to point out before we get into some nice, awesome news that I have to announce is my checklist. I still do want to get some more stormtroopers. As I mentioned, the troop carrier or the transport. Snipers checked off. That was to build a custom Fennec from the Mandalorian, again, for those who have seen the series. I do want to pick up Boba's real armor because, as I've said in past videos, I only have his jetpack and helmet. I definitely do need to get more bricks, but we'll talk about that in a minute. And I'm not sure if I'm going to need some more 4x4 brown plates by the looks of it. I think I might, sadly. I was actually, at the beginning of this mock, it looked like I had enough parts, but my eyes were bigger than my original assessment of how many parts I was going to need, so I'm definitely going to need more. But like I said, I'm not sure if I'll need more of those. We'll find out again when I start doing more of the the ground, if you will. Definitely going to need more slopes because I said I'm running them up here, I'm running them up there, all the way down there, all the way down there, and I still do want to do some rock work on the actual terrain with those too, so I'm going to need a lot more of those. And put a question mark against plants and 4x4 brown plates, as I said, because I'm not sure if I'm going to need them, because I do have a lot of foliage, a lot of plants, as the cup is overflowing. But again, that is only an overflowing smaller cup, but we'll get to that right now. So speaking of plants, and as I said, we'd get to bricks, this video is sponsored by Providence Brick Exchange, owned by my good friend Clint, as I said in the beginning of the video. Great guy, great store, great prices, and definitely be sure to go check out my about section so you can read a nice quick bio, and I'll put something about him in the description below. And you can also check out my channel icon. Go to my about section, you'll find his bio, as I said, and a link to his site there. But I was able to pick up some parts for this mock, so thank you so much, Clint, if you're watching this. So I got a little mini Lego haul for this mock, so I'm gonna unbag everything, lay it out for you guys to show you what I got. Without further ado, let's get into it. All right, everyone, so here is what we got. I did pick up some more boulders, so I have more of those that I'm going to have embedded in the ground. And if you're wondering why I only got two, is because these, if you do not know, are the Lego City boulders, and these can come apart. You can see a little bit of my Marvel display in the background there. So I kind of got four, if you will, because I'm not going to be putting the boulders in their entirety. I'm just going to have them embedded in the ground like that. And I'm probably going to do something to cover up that section, and you can do the same with that one. So I'm glad I got those so I can have a lot more of that rocky terrain that we actually saw in the episode. I did pick up some more foliage, as I said, about the plants. So I got 12 of these little, ferns or palm fronds, whatever you want to call them. Just some little foliage there, again, courtesy of Providence Brick Exchange. So that will go with my plants over there. So like I said, same with the brown plates and a lot of the terrain texturing, we'll see what we need once we actually get to making the terrain and once we're done with the actual base of the mock itself. And I picked up a bunch of light gray bricks, so I can switch this dark gray out with the light bricks. And I also did pick up a couple slopes here and there, so those I can start adding back into the slope bin to kind of reinforce my slopes, and I can get to work on that. But yeah, so that's basically the haul that I got. And I think I'm going to actually do some work in this video. So I'm going to fix that, reinforce that. That'll be first. And I'm going to switch these out right now and get that done. And I'm going to see, because there's no back to this yet. I have taken the actual framing that I did in episode 2 off. So I'm going to see how far I can go with those bricks. I don't believe I'm going to be able to finish it, but we will see. And then if I'll get those two things done, and I will see how long the video is and what we're looking like, and I might put the pillars up so you guys can see. But without further ado, let me go ahead and reinforce that and get this done, and I'll see you real soon. All right, guys, so I am back after about 30 minutes of some work. I've also did a couple extra things, but I am officially back. So as we left off, that is completely reinforced. I'm pressing down with all my might right there. That is not going anywhere because I believe I have a support beam in every stud region there, so that is not going anywhere. So that is definitely going to be sturdy when I press down on that. I also reinforced these plates a little bit because when there was the hole there, I was pressing down on the edges and they were a little bit wobbly. So I just want to make sure at this stage before I start doing anything else, I'm probably going to test all these plates a little bit. Not in this video, maybe in episode 4. I also did take these out of the bag, all 12 brand spanking new leaf pieces, which look great. I'm so glad that I have these and that I picked these up. I think they're definitely going to look good. I'm not sure if I want to get any more of those because, as I said, I'm probably going to have to look through my plant cup there and see what I have. As I showed you, I have all those boulders taken apart and ready, and I have used up all. That was the cup that the bricks came in. I used all of them. I ran out really quickly. So I finished this. This is completely all nice and done. So it matches with this base, and that's the height it's going to go up to. And I still have to add some board beams to this, but I do have it on here just for now, just for some reference to see how it looks, to get the the general idea when you step back. I also did start on the back a little bit, but I didn't get too far. I ended off right here, but I did finish framing the whole thing around the back, and I'm not going to do any around the back because then it's actually hollow in the back there because of the supports. I'll show you what I mean. I don't know if you can see it. Let me move this cup out of the way. But you can see it's hollow. You can see the wall in the back there, just to save some bricks. But I am slowly running out of room to put these cups as I start building this way a little bit, and it starts closing in. So a couple are going to have to move down on the floor soon. But I still got my list over there, and my brick separator, and my pen, and some more plates over there. But as I said, I finished framing that, so I get the general idea. So that's all framed in, so I'm happy about that. I just got to get a couple more light gray bricks so I can finish that and finish the height there. And quick little shot of my Lego City. I'm not sure. I know I promised an update coming out soon, but I'm hoping to have it coming out maybe after Christmas, but little sneak peek. As you can see, I have a wall of light gray bricks there. I'm not sure if I want to take some from there and then replace that in the Lego City after. I'm hoping to actually find some elsewhere. I do have some part bins under there. See my slave one over there. So I'm probably going to take a look through those. But that pretty much completes it for this episode. But before we close it out, as promised, I didn't know if I was going to do it, but I'm going to let you guys see this section in its entirety. I'm going to go ahead and put up the pillars for you. All right, everyone. So that was the cup the pillars are in. I've officially put them up. Let me show you what it looks like in its entirety. I think it looks awesome. There's a view from afar, from the side, and try and give you minifigure perspective walking up to it. See, I got Mando down there. Let me bring you in closer for a better look. There's a better look at where Mando is standing, where he walks up to Grogu. You can see Grogu in the middle. Sorry about that. And a view from the top. I think it looks really great. As you can see, the taller pillars with the smaller pillars going up to them, which is accurate to the actual episode. And I think it looks great on its base with the steps up and the texturing around it. And I definitely think it's going to look great when the entire mock is finished. But there's a good portion done right there. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave them up. I really want to because it took a while to position them just right, since it is a smaller space, and like the pillars are very big. I just wanted to position them so you could get so it wouldn't cover the child too much. And yeah, that's pretty much completes it for this episode, episode 3, the redesign. I hope you all enjoyed. We're going to go ahead and head back to the regular studio where we'll talk about the episode and wrap up this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I do hope you found this helpful. If you did, leave it down in the comment section down below if you spotted any cool building techniques. And I'm sorry this video was a very long episode at the time. Right now it's only 21, it is 21 minutes, so it was a very long video. I am very tired. I know we didn't do too much work on camera or in the video, but that redesign has been going on for a while. I was working on it a lot today, and when the pause between the mock and this outro, I worked on it a little bit more, so it's getting very late. I'm very tired, so that's enough work on the mock for me, but I'm so happy with the progress that it's going on. Again, definitely be sure to subscribe, drop a like if you haven't, click my channel icon, go to my about section, read what I'm all about if you are new, and if you're watching my content and like it and are not subscribed, I do encourage you to do so because it would help the channel a lot. You will also find in my about section a bio on our sponsor. Huge shout out to him, Providence Brick Exchange, located in Smithfield, Rhode Island, for all your Lego needs, owned by my great friend Clint. Great guy, great store, great prices, and you'll also find the link to his site in my description, and I'll put something about him in the description in this video down below. Again, let me know in the comment section down below if you're excited for this mock, what you like, what you think I should add, what you think I shouldn't do. Thank you all for watching. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep building. Bye for now.